Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing a 2005 Honda Accord. We're doing the front brakes on it, and somebody, I think the last person who did it, didn't actually take the rotors off because the fact that the screws that hold down the rotor was all mangled. So what we're doing is we're going to try to drill them out and then hopefully get this rotor off. And so that's the process I'm in now. We're stepping up to the next size, and then hopefully we can get it to the point where the enough of the screw head will be gone, and so we can actually get this head off. This one is actually kind of free, so that will come off, and this one just a little bit more to go. Alright, so as we work on it, we're going to come around the front, and once I free those up, and then we're going to then work on the caliper bolts. Those are 14s, and we're going to use a little 3/8 inch impact on them. And they should just come right off, just like that. One. And the lower ones can just right off too. Okay, just like that. Okay, so the caliper should come straight off. Squeeze the caliper just a little bit. There we go. Get a little play, and then we can take a look at what the pads look like underneath. Looks like the car's been sitting for a while, so there's a lot of cobwebs and whatnot. I'll get a hanger for the caliper in a second. But let's take a look. You can tell that there's a lot of rust. And yeah, it did need it because there's no meat on these pads. I mean, that's probably far overdue. And this one actually has a stress crack, so it's a good thing. So we're going to get working on it. We'll get the bracket off, and like normal, we'll clean it up. And then we'll get it. But what I'm going to do is keep working on trying to get this rotor off. So we'll get the bracket off. The bracket looks like it's probably a 17 or 18, so let's work on that. And then there's the bracket bolt right there. Yep, that's a 17, and so let's see if we can get that off. It was kind of tight the other way, so we're going to try to do it this way. All right, there we go. I'm using these Williams sockets, remember, that I got last time. They're pretty nice. And let's see what we got here. Let's see if they come off. Yep, that one on bottom. It came off pretty easy. Let's try the one on top. Oh yeah, that one came off too. Alright, so those came off fairly easy. And then we can separate the bracket. And there's the bracket. Alright, so let's work on getting that rotor off. Okay. And hopefully we can get this rotor off without too much fuss. Alright. I think this one is all free. I saw the head spin. Yeah, the head spinning on this one, you can tell. And then this one just a little bit more, and I think we can just get the rotor out. Take a love tap and see what happens to that rotor, okay? Alright, here we go. Love tap. And this is the one that's the hardest to remove, that one right there. Alright, we're going to take that tap and let's see if it comes out. Alright guys, drilled it out, a couple love taps, and bam, the rotor's off. Now all I have to do is get something to take the heads off. I mean, the heads are gone, but the underside, and I think we can do it with a pair of vice grips, okay? So they should be loose enough where I can just grab it, and there we go. See, they're loose. Look at how loose they are. So I should just be able to spin them out like so. Okay? One's out. And then we'll get the other one out. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's loose too. There we go. All right. There we go. Clean the surface. Okay, we're gonna hit it with a little brake clean. All right. And then we're gonna add a little bit of this anti-corrosive, okay, lubricant, just for good measure. And that should keep it from hopefully rusting out. All the parts today were purchased from O'Reilly's. Here's the new rotor. We're gonna hit it with a brake clean to get the oils off. Wipe it down. These are nice coated rotors. Now we're gonna line up those screw holes. Now we're not gonna put the screws back in because, well, I don't have any screws to put in there, but we are going to make sure that the screw holes do line up. And I think I gotta rotate another right here. So there you go. The screw holes do line up, but right now we're just gonna use a lug to hold it in place while we work on it. There we go. That's perfect. One more time to get my handprints off. And then on the inside. There we go. Oh yeah, right there. All right. We're gonna do the pins now. We always like to clean up the pins. Okay, and we'll lubricate the pins. A little bit of brake clean, surface clean. Okay, because if you don't have good moving pins, that's going to create problems. So we're going to put that purple stuff on it, you know, a little bit, just a little will do ya. Well, they say a dab will do ya. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to shove it in there, make sure it's nice and fluid. Take the air out. Oh yeah, that's nice. See, and make sure that it moves freely, because these are kind of binding when I took them off, so we know that. Okay, we're going to rub it down. Okay, make sure. Again, the second pin. A little bit of oil. There we go. A little grease there. I'm gonna put that in there. Okay. Hopefully you can see that. Put it in. Get the air out. Nice. Okay. And then what we're gonna do is this didn't come with hardware, so I had to clean up the old one. But if you can tell, I cleaned up the bottom of the caliper. We're just gonna lubricate it a little bit, where we know that the surface is gonna make. So there we go. We're just gonna lubricate, and that's it. And then we're gonna clean. Like I said, we clean up the old hardware. It's pretty clean as it's gonna get. Let's put it that way. And then we're gonna pop those back on, and then we'll get it back mounted to the car. Okay. Yeah, we like to use new hardware whenever possible, but if you can't, and life goes on, right? It's always the toughest. Alright guys, I got some blue Loctite on the bolts, and then now we're going to mount the caliper bracket to where it was. So I got to reverse it because, you know, sometimes the orientation is confusing. So we're going to put that in there. Okay. And then let's see if we can find the orientation. And, you know, camera's in the way, so I can't see what I'm doing. There we go. The lower bolts. Yeah. Got a little Loctite on the upper bolts. There we go. The upper bolt is in. And we're going to tighten that puppy up too. Okay, we're going to tighten those. And we'll make sure that you get those nice and tight, but that should help. Okay, we're gonna get those nice and tight. Okay. Alright, then we're gonna put the pads in. Alright, got the pads right here. These are the these are the O'Reilly's brake pads, disc pads. I think they're, can't remember what it says, but they should just slide right in there like so. And then it'll go right into that piece right there. And the lower one should go like that. Like so. Let's see if we can get these to go in here on this other side, because yeah, okay, got it on. A little twist, that's all it took. My bad. And then got the piston tool. Alright, let's see if we can get this thing compressed today. Going back to standard old C-clamp. Let's see what we got there. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Let's see how easy this goes in. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's going in okay. Let's see. Alright, we're going to get that piston secured in. Make sure that it travels freely, and then we'll get it mounted. But I think it's okay. For a second I thought that it might be seized, but I think it's okay. It's going in, and it's going in fairly easily, so that's good. So alright, there we go. Alright, let's get that on there. Alright, here we go. Let's slide that on. Hose is not kinked. Goes on good. These have the anti-noise backing, so we should be good. Put a little bit of compound on that bolt there. Line that up. Come on. And then get the other one on. Alright, so calipers on. And torque it down. And we should be good to go. Let's see. Tight. Tight. Nice and freely moving. Okay, guys, we're gonna take that off. Remember, we don't have any screws because they were mangled. If you want, you can probably go get some new ones, but they should be fine. It just helps that with the screws in there to hold the rotor in place so that you don't have to fight it. But that little lug nut will do it. We're gonna go seat the brake pads after we're done with it, and that's it. The screws kind of like slowed you down, but what are you gonna do? They do happen like that all the time. And other than that, we got some good pads. We'll seat the brakes afterwards, and we should have quiet brakes again. We're gonna do the other side, same thing, mangled screws again, and so that's gonna be a little challenge. But other than that, thank you for joining us, and thank you for subscribing, and have a wonderful day. Take care now.